Diddy and other Hollywood elites are being linked to the ongoing wildfires in LA, and fans have just noticed how Diddy's house appears to be left completely untouched by the fire. Was Diddy really involved in the cover-up surrounding the fires in LA? And what is his connection to government officials?
Diddy Combs' Los Angeles mansion has been spared from the rampant flames engulfing the ritzy neighborhoods where several high-profile celebrities live. The flames have left 24 Californians dead, decimated 40,300 acres of land, and wrecked more than 12,300 structures. But the disgraced rapper's 17,000-square-foot home, closely located to the chaos, has remained unscathed. The lavish house in Holmby Hills sits just outside of the Palisades fire's path, but has not been damaged by the disaster. Many celebrities who live in or near the Pacific Palisades area have been forced out of the neighborhoods. Anthony Hopkins, Paris Hilton, and John Goodman are just among the stars whose stunning mansions have been reduced to ash and rubble. As LA continues to battle these fires, Combs sits in his jail cell at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center as he awaits trial. He faces a slew of charges including trafficking, racketeering, and conspiracy. Some have even made baseless claims that the fires may have been started to cover up Diddy's alleged sex crimes and protect any allies he may have left.
I think for the industry, times of crisis have always been good for the entertainment industry. Not that I'm saying any crisis is good, no, but I think people want, they want to be entertained during those times, and they like escapism and just things for pure entertainment.
In the aftermath of the wildfires in low, reports and video footage has started to come in showing how some people were deliberately setting fires and were allegedly involved in arson. There are even reports that these individuals have been handed over to the police, but the police have refused to charge them. Actor and director Mel Gibson says that all of it feels pre-planned. First, the funding of the firefighters was decreased, and then there was no water in the fire hydrants. Now even the suspects who are being caught on tape setting fires aren't being charged and are just being let go. So many people have lost their homes and their lives in this fire. Why isn't a real investigation being conducted?
Third arrest that is coming. There's 2 that's already down. The world is going to crumble when they see this next arrest. In the meantime, there's going to be deaths, distractions, and fire to hide evidence. Watch for it. Ask questions.
Apparently, the residents in Corral Canyon caught an arsonist up there. And the guy was all tooled up with fire gear and equipment and stuff like that, ready to go. And he had been lighting fires. But they corralled the guy in Corral Canyon and gave him to the police. So
yeah, apparently
there are people actively going around looking for these conditions. Yeah,
apparently, Mel, that individual was never charged. It's a very confusing set of facts because apparently he was reportedly trying to light things on fire, but it's not the fires, I guess, that they... I mean, it all seems very bizarre, but they have not ruled out that arson could have started the first fire. There's obviously still investigating this, and at the same time, Mel, there are numerous complaints, as you alluded to, that the fire hydrants did not have water or water pressure, and the LA fire chief herself reacted. Watch this.
My stance on this is when a firefighter comes up to a hydrant, we expect there's going to be water. We don't control the water supply. Our firefighters are there to protect lives and property and to make sure that we're properly trained and equipped. That's my position on this. So if there's no water, I don't know how the water gets to the hydrants.
Mel, reaction to that?
Well, I know they were messing with the water, letting reserves go for one reason or another. They've been doing that a while. California has a lot of problems that sort of baffle the mind as far as why they do things. And then in the events like this, you sort of look, oh, is it on purpose? Which it's an insane thing to think. But one begins to ponder whether or not there is a purpose in mind. What could it be, I don't know. Do they want the state empty? I don't know.
Well, Mel, there's already talk, and we played a couple of sound bites of reimagining the way rebuilding occurs. And obviously there's a great need for high-density housing in California and across the country. That's a big push by the climate folks. And you're already hearing rumblings of that. In this case, like goodbye single family homes, hello high density housing.
Yeah. It's pretty scary, and it'll take decades to do that too. It's like even if it if it's a good idea, which I don't know if it is, but reminds me of the old cattle barons clearing people off the land, But I don't know. I can make all kinds of horrible theories up in my head, conspiracy theories and everything else, but it just seemed a little convenient that there was no water, and and that the wind conditions were right, and that there are people ready and willing and able to start fires. And are they commissioned to do so, or are they just acting on their own volition? I don't know. But they seem pretty well equipped, some of these people that they're catching.
A lot of questions. A lot of
Firefighters have been talking for years about how something like this could happen. But now with the way that everything is turning out, it looks like all of this might just be a case of arson. How is it possible that Allie Carter, one of Diddy's victims, predicted months ago that there was going to be a wildfire? Last time there was a wildfire in Lee Maui, Oprah's house was miraculously left untouched, while every other house in the region got burned down. Is it really just a coincidence that every time there is a wildfire, the mansions of Hollywood elites manage to stay safe, while the houses of everyone else burn down?
Like it could fall apart at any moment. It was always like I was always waiting for the next earthquake or the next fire. I was evacuated 3 times from my house from fires. Yeah, last one, 2 houses in front of my house burnt to the ground, right in front of my house.
What the?
Yeah, the wildfires were crazy.
Yeah, it's scary, right?
Scary when you see them coming. I came home from the Comedy Store, and it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. And me and my wife were looking out the window at the fire coming over the hill. And we made an early call. We said, look, if we're wrong, we'll come back. The house is still here. But let's just get the out of here now. I'm like, that's too close. They weren't evacuating yet. I'm like, let's get out of here. And so we got all of our shit, and we got a hotel in Beverly Hills. And then next thing you know, it swept through our neighborhood.
That's horrible.
It burnt 40 houses in my neighborhood.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, it's crazy. It was weird, man. And when you see the walls of flame that are from the left to the right, everywhere you can see is flames. You see houses going up. It's spooky, man. It's spooky like a horror movie. I talked to a fireman once. He was telling me, he goes, dude, one day, he goes, it's just going to be the right wind, and fire's going to start in the right place, and it's going to burn through L.A. all the way to the ocean, and there's not a thing we can do about it. I go, really? He goes, yeah, we just get lucky. He goes, we get lucky with the wind. He goes, but if the wind hits the wrong way, it's just going to burn straight through L.A., and there's not going to be a thing we can do about it. Because these fires are so big, dude. When they're talking about like thousands of acres that are burning simultaneously with like 40-mile-an-hour winds. And the wind's just blowing embers through the air, and those embers are landing on roofs, and those houses are going up, and they're landing on bushes, and those bushes are going up, and everything's dry. And once it happens in a way where it's so spread out that there's nothing they can do. There's nothing they can do.
You just have to evacuate, right?
Nothing.
Let's not forget that the state of California refused to file a case against Diddy for decades. There were rumors that Diddy was involved in all kinds of illegal operations, and he was going around on live TV talking about all this too. But no one could touch him. It was finally the Southern District of the state of New York that filed a lawsuit against Diddy and had the feds go to Miami to raid his mansion. The mayor of New York was best friends with Diddy and even handed him a key to the city just a few weeks before he was sued. Was this also a coincidence, or was Diddy using Mayor Adams to improve his public image before the...
And once they find the criminal activity in those, they could bring them in. Now, did the Federal Bureau of Investigation in Miami do it? No, they didn't. Did California do it? No, they did not. The Southern District of New York, they took it upon themselves and put on that raid and everything based on the information they found in Cassie lawsuit and the information they found in Little Rod lawsuit. But all this is bigger than Diddy. It's bigger than Diddy, bro. Because you know who else they was doing investigation on during that whole time period? It was the mayor and the politicians in New York City. They turn around and give him the key to the city. All the mayor people that he brought on here in New York City are all resigning. They all resigning. People ain't gonna tie this together, but if you look at it, you have to say, because of Mayor Adams and his relationship with Diddy, it brought on the Southern District of New York to start investigating Diddy on civil lawsuits that was put against him. Because the feds is going after all these politicians in New York City.
Yeah, the feds revealed that, anybody that, participated in any, criminal behavior at his freak-offs, they're going to pursue.
Listen here. The mayor here take like 15 spoons of sugar in his coffee. So it's all a possibility.
Do you think there's any celebrities on them tapes?
Bro, he gave celebrity parties. So what you think?
Diddy has been trying to contact people to do his dirty work ever since he got into prison, and the prosecution has even caught him red-handed trying to threaten people for someone like Diddy, who still has connections to criminals on the outside. It makes sense that he would try something like this to get the spotlight off of him. In the last 1 month, two of Diddy's most powerful friends, Jay and GLO, have both been named in civil lawsuits, so it's possible that people like that are orchestrating all of it.
Prosecutor presented that the judge was going to allow him to be bonded out on the first get-go. Now, if he comes up with some more hearings, he might be released. But based on the evidence, they've been following him, bro. They've been tapping his phone, been having people watch him. You understand? He been coming back and forth from New York, and he don't usually be coming back to New York. And somebody was telling me that, listen here, he trying to get witnesses. Remember when they released that first thing of Cassie, and I said that Diddy was trying to contact people for character witnesses, people for who he had problems with before, whatever like that, and trying to talk to them in the whole 9 yards. That's when they dropped that thing with Cassie. The Homeland Security had some agency or whatever like that that deals with that, dropped that thing on Cassie to show everybody, oh, y'all want to help him? Y'all, this is what y'all want to help? This is who y'all want to, say that he ain't never did nothing. This is what you want to put your brand on? And everybody start backing up from him. Everybody was talking about, yo, man, Cassie was a gold digger. Cassie was this, that, and the third. She loved it in the whole 9 yards. And then when they seen that, all his friends or so-called friends, went away. So him not having a bond is not surprising.
Yeah, and he offered them $50 million, and they still denied his bond.
He should have waited to see what they was going to offer. Because if he got $50 million to get him and offer that, then they think like, yo, that's too.
You have to remember the kind of people that Diddy has in his pocket. Diddy spent years making connections and getting dirt on some of the most powerful people in the world. Presidents, senators, British royalty, and even billionaires were all being controlled by Diddy. Gan Deal has confirmed all of this, and there are reports that Diddy was trying to get rid of some of the evidence that was in homes of some celebrities burned down, and allegedly these celebrities had information that could be used against it.
It's been like a week. Knowing Diddy, you being around Diddy, could you ever imagine that his houses would get raided for sex trafficking?
Bro, you can't imagine no stuff like that. You understand? You can't think that because back then he wasn't Brother Love. He was Puffy. All the way up until he became Diddy. So his behavior over the years has changed. And the behavior that he shows now and that he has shown by being brother love, I couldn't imagine that the police would be raiding him for sex trafficking. Nah, bruh. I couldn't imagine that. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't him back then. He's a totally different person that he became. If you've seen him on other platforms, you know, inviting men to party with him, inviting men to go shopping with him. You understand? That wasn't Huffy. That wasn't Diddy. That was brother love and love.
How you feel about all the people that's wondering why haven't any of Diddy big name friends came out to defend?
Because either two things that I believe. Either they know some of the stuff is true, either they took part in some of the stuff that happened, or they scared that it may mess up their brand. See, nobody wants to be in contact with anybody that allegedly was sex trafficked. You see what the WWF did to Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon was one of those people that was called for sex trafficking. We don't hear a lot about it.
50 Cent has been noticing everything that has been happening in the background for decades, and he was collecting all the information that he could against Diddy. This is what 50 Cent meant when he said that his docuseries is not going to talk about any of the things that the media is focusing on. Instead, his docuseries is going to expose the web of lies and conspiracy that was happening behind the scenes. A statement released by his company said, "This is a story with significant human impact. It is a complex narrative spanning decades. Not just the headlines or clips seen so far. We remain steadfast in our commitment to give a voice to the voiceless and to present authentic and nuanced perspectives." Speaking of, in particular, Netflix celebrity Domino and Jay-Z's was unmasked as celebrity. But let's not forget there's a celebrity B in that same lawsuit that allegedly witnessed the sexual assault, the female celebrity. And there was someone who went on CNN earlier this week and said that his sexual assault was witnessed by another celebrity as well. So I think we're going to see more celebrity names identified very soon. All right, Nia Ron, thank you so much for joining us. As you said, this is one that has entered the court of public opinion. It's nice to have your actual legal advice on this one, whether it's arson cover-ups or calculated leverage. There's no denying that the pieces of this puzzle are getting darker and more sinister. What do you think about these revelations? Is Diddy really pulling strings behind the scenes? Or is this all just a coincidence? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like this video. And thanks for watching Celebrity Spill, guys.